So name will remain name, but the value will be something else. So let's say the name is Bob. Again, use the same field or key, marks, not here, marks, and he has got, let's say, 60. So you can see that this is the same thing. Okay, these are the same thing, marks, name, but the values have changed. In this case, it was Shubhadeep. Now there is Bob. Shubhadeep has got 80 marks and Bob has got 60 marks, right? So again, similarly, we can have another data. Let's take some more data. Sorry, what happened? Oh, I'm sorry, I forgot to close this. Okay, just hold on. Okay, let's make a fresh start. Data equals to this. Close this. Now next data, and again you can put many spaces, many, you can hit many enters. It doesn't really matter until you close this bracket. So once this bracket is open, you can hit enter 1,000 times. It doesn't really matter. But once you finish putting all the data, just close this. So now let's take our next data, which is name. The keys will be same, and this time let's take something as Laura. So Laura, and marks. Inside marks we have, let's say this guy got, okay, this girl got 90. And again we close it. Finally we close the list. So this is the opening of the list, this is the closing of the list. See, closed. Now if I try to print it, data, so you can see that it has three dictionaries. It is a list basically. This is the list, and this list contains three elements. Each one of them is a dictionary containing the name and marks of every student. So this is one student, this is the data of another student, and this is the data of another student, right? Now it makes sense that the first student got 80 marks, the second student named Bob got 60 marks, and the third student named Laura got 90 marks, right? Now it suddenly starts to make sense, right? Now we are gonna put this data into CSV. How to do so? So let me do one thing. And again, you want to put a header. Okay. So what does a header mean? Let me show you. If I go back, this is my original data. For, this is what we will do. So let's say open notepad. So again, just definitely we will remove these things, these blank spaces, but don't focus on these. Focus on the first row: name, phone, country. Are these values? No, these are not values. These are the keys. These are the fields. These are the column, whatever you call it. This is not the value. This is like the header of the data. For example, if I open this in a Excel sheet, let me open this for you. You will see that these are on the top with bold letters. It's opening, just hold on. So as you can see, the name, phone, country are keys. This is the reason they are in bold, right? So the first thing before writing data is to write the header, right? We don't want this row to come after this line, right? Or after this line, or after this line. We want this row to come at the first, because we want the header or the columns, the name of the columns to come at the first row, right? So name, phone, and country must appear in the first row itself, right? After this, we can put many data we want. So these are datas, okay? From second column, all of these are actually datas, okay? These are datas. But this row, the first row, it is header. So the first thing is to write the headers. We just close it. Again, close this one as well. So yeah, so where were we? Okay, so now we have to make the list of headers. You can say um, headers, headers, and we have to put the name of the headers into this list. So what are the headers here, or what are the keys here? So name, basically, just copy this, Control C, put this. And what's the next header, guys? Come on, come on, come on. This is the next header, marks, right? So these will be our column names, our heading names. So Control C, Control V, put this, enter. So we have our headers. Okay. Now what you're gonna do, you're gonna open the CSV file. So you're gonna say open, or in let me just do this with open to data dot csv comma w, because we're gonna open this in write mode, comma new line, because this is Windows, make it blank as file. So we have opened the file. Now what we can do, we're gonna write the data, right? So we're gonna say CSV file, same thing, just like we did. Now here is the new thing. In case of the previous one, you were writing data that were not meaningful at all. You were just putting some values, some random values that didn't make any sense. But this time, since you are writing the data from list of dictionaries, that means you are putting meaningful data. You have to say something like this: CSV dot dict writer. This is the thing you're going to do, because you are writing from a dictionary, list of dictionaries. So you are going to say to the computer that I want to write to this file from all the dictionaries, the list of dictionaries that we have over here, this one. Okay, so where we are going to write, again do the same thing, pass the file, because this thing is stored inside this variable. So you pass this. Now CSV file equals to csv.dictWriter file. We are done with this. So the only difference is that last time we just wrote writer, and this time we are writing dict writer. That means dictionary writer. Okay, so dictionary writer. Now how are we going to do this? We're going to say, oops, damn. Okay, not this one. Just hold on. After file, you have to put the headers. This one, put the headers. How am I gonna put the headers? You're gonna say, sorry, field, this one, comma, field names equals to, okay. So that means you're gonna say that the name of the columns are present inside this list. Basically, this means, right? This is what it means. So you're gonna open the file, and you're gonna tell Python that I'm gonna write to this CSV file from the list of dictionaries. Also, the name of the columns are present inside this list. So we are saying field names, or even say column names actually, but don't write column names. You must write this thing: field names equals to headers. Why headers? Because headers contains all the heading names, all the keys. That's how you get name and marks on the top of the CSV file. Once you do this, and okay, you don't need to write this. Okay, you don't need to write this. If you do this, it won't write any headers. Okay, it will simply write the data. So now I'm going to say CSV file dot write header. Write header. That means write the first line. Write the first line. And what's the first line? What's the first row? The first row is the header itself. The first row is the key or the column names. Okay, so we are done with the column names. Now we can simply write the data into the file. We can say that CSV, okay, just hit a tab, CSV file dot, again same thing, do the same thing, because now since you're done with the header portion, you have to do the same thing like last time. You're going to say write rows and then put the data like last time. Put the data. Control C, Control V. So we are done. What the hell? So put the data and we are done. Required one miss where. Where did that, right? Oh, I got the error here. Okay, I got the error here. No problems, no problems, no problems. I'm gonna do this once again and ignore these stuffs because these are weirdos of Windows. I don't know where the hell these are coming from. Just ignore those things. So okay, so we start with this line. Okay, don't do this one, otherwise you will get the error. It will say that it must require field names. Now if you do this, it won't cause any error. Let me show you. Hit the enter. Right header. Again, these are some of the weirdos of Windows. Don't look at this. And once again, data. Now it says 12. So that means it has successfully written the data. Let's check it out, guys. We have the data over here. So we open it with Notepad and boom, we have our data. Congratulations on making your first CSV file, that too with meaningful data. So when let me show you by comparison. Let's make it a little bit shorter. Okay, now look at this very carefully. When I said this line CSV file dot write header, it written the first row, that is name and marks. This is what happened, right? Because I said write the header first, after that we will write the data. First the column names, then the rows of the data. So we have written the column names over here. We have put the column names. Now what we're going to do is CSV file dot write rows data, just like we do when writing data. It's as simple as that. There are only two extra steps. That is, first of all, when you are putting the file inside CSV file, you have to put dict writer instead of writer, just writer. You have to put it dict writer. And after file, you have to pass this thing, field names equals to headers. Field names equals to headers. So it will require field names, because since you are passing meaningful data, a table without any column isn't meaningful. So if I have a table that has all these different names, let's say I open my previous data, just go to the demo folder, open this file, open this Excel file, and let it open. Just hold on. So I remove the first row. I remove the first row. So now does it make any sense? No, it doesn't make any sense, right? So it must require the field names. Okay, this is the reason we have to pass the field names. So here we have passed, okay, not this one. So we have passed the field names, and inside field names we have passed headers. Now what is headers? Headers are basically this thing where it contains all the different column names. So we have written the header first, then all the data. So that's how you write meaningful data to CSV files. Now we will understand how to read meaningful data from CSV files. I repeat, read meaningful data from CSV files. Let's get started. Now again, you have to open the file. Okay, I'm not gonna copy this. I'm literally not gonna copy this. Like seriously, this is crap. And just copy this one. Okay, I'm gonna modify this a little bit. Control V. And I don't need this because I'm just reading from the file. So no need of this thing. I'm good to go. I'm gonna, there's a space over there. We're good to go. Now again, CSV file equals to CSV. Now in case of the previous one, you would have written only reader. But since it is a meaningful data, what do you have to write? Guess. You have to write dict reader because you are reading from dictionaries. Because these data, whatever you have written, are actually what? Actually are dictionaries, right? Because we have written this thing, this data. What is this data? This data is basically a collection or a list of different dictionaries. So you are basically reading dictionaries from the CSV. That's why you need to write CSV dot dict reader and again do the same thing. Pass the name of the file, pass the variable, and you don't have to pass the field name because it already contains the field names. After this, you're gonna loop because last time you also looped, right? So again, loop over the lines for row in CSV file, and for every row, you're gonna print. Now here comes the twist. Since you are reading from a dictionary, you are accessing the data from the dictionary. How do you access data from dictionary? Do you access it with indexes? No, you access it with keys. So if I want to access the name of a student, I will say, okay, just put the f string here. I'm gonna say row, because remember this is a dictionary. Every row in the CSV file is a dictionary because this is the meaningful data. I repeat, this is the meaningful data. So basically, every line, okay, it ignores this one. Why? Because this is the header. It ignores this one. It starts iterating from this one. So it will go through this one, and this one. It will ignore this one because this is the header. It knows that. It is intelligent enough. Okay. It ignores this one. It starts moving from this one and ends here. So basically this thing may look like a normal text, but in Python this is a dictionary because we have written the data from dictionary. So while writing while reading we are reading from a dictionary. So how to access the data from a dictionary? So since every row is a dictionary, we can say that row, and you're going to access the name of the student. So name has got, again you're going to access the marks. So row is the dictionary and you're going to access what? Marks. So what's the, okay, I need to change this because basically it's capital N. basically you are giving all the things that you have here. The next thing is marks. Copy this. And just do this thing, otherwise it won't work actually. So wow, we have our data. It says Subhodeep has got 80, Bob has got 60, Laura has got 90. So it works perfectly. How? Row name means we are trying to access the name over here, the name over here, and the name over here. So every row basically means this one, this thing. Every row is this thing. So I want to prove this to you, otherwise you will get confused later on. I want to prove this to you. Again, just don't look at this. This is just crap. I don't know what's wrong with my machine, but it keeps on showing these things. So for row in CSV file, what? Okay, I'm sorry. Row in CSV files, print row. Now see what output you get. So you get a dictionary. You get dictionaries. So what's happening here? What's happening here is that basically this is a list of rows, right? Because when we had written to the file, it was a list of dictionaries. When we read from the file, every row is a dictionary, right? Every row is a dictionary. Now, for every row over here, for every row, we are trying to access the name field. The name field. So what does the name field contain, Shubhadeep? And we are trying to access the marks field. What does the marks field contain? 80. Okay. Marks, name, marks, name, marks. So for every row, that means for every dictionary over here, we are trying to access the name and the marks, right? So that's how you print out or read from the dictionary. I'm sorry, read from the CSV files. That too, meaningful data. This was meaningful data. Why? Because each of them describes about the data. It says something about the data. It says Shorib is a name, 80 is a marks, Bob is a name, 60 is a marks. Like it says it. It tells you the story. That's why I'm calling it meaningful data. Now that we are done with this, the next thing that I'm going to show you is how to go through each of the files in a given folder. So you might ask, how can you do this? You're going to learn something called OS module. OS module. Okay, I'm going to show this to you. So let's get started with the OS module. So first, let's go to the folder where we have our practice CSV files. So cd into desktop demo practice. So here are our previous files that we have made, our CSV files. Now if I want to check what are the contents of this folder, right? We want to check what are the things that are present inside this folder. In Windows, we simply say dir, and it shows us that there are basically two CSV files. Okay, it shows us this one. So it has two CSV files. Now, what if I want to do the same thing with Python? What if? So this thing can be achieved using something called OS module. Now OS stands for operating system. Now what are operating system? Operating system, your operating system is Windows. My operating system is Linux. So these are the operating systems. Okay, these are called operating systems. You are using Windows 10, someone is using Windows 7, someone is using Mac, or or maybe I'm using Linux like these, or someone is maybe using Solar OS, something like that. So our OS is Windows. So now I want to start the Python terminal here. Let's maximize this. And now let's import the OS module. So for OS module, you want to just say import OS. There you have it. Now, in order to, I won't teach you all the things that are present inside OS module, but I'll definitely tell you what are the things that you really need. Okay, so let's get started. So I am inside this folder, right? I'm inside this folder, and don't worry, if possible I will take another separate class on OS module, but for now just understand the things that you actually need. Okay, I'm not going into too much of depth, but understand the things that you actually need, and in the you know in the next class maybe I'll teach you OS. Okay, so let's get started. So you have to say that OS dot, okay, and I want to just show you what are the things that are present inside the OS module. So you're just gonna say dir OS. So wow, all these different things. So you can see how much, how much information it contains. It contains a lot of things, and these are absolutely a lot of things, and it may be very difficult for you to understand all these right now. So when the time comes, I'll definitely tell you all the things, all the required things you need. Okay. So for now we're gonna use, let me show you this one. I will show you right now. And okay, list dir. There is something called list dir. List dir. Yep, list dir. Okay, this one, list dir. So we will see these things right now. Okay, and now, so what does list dir do? Let's see the power of list dir. So we can say os dot list dir. Boom. It returns us a list. It gives us a list which contains the things that are present inside this folder. Okay. So this folder contains two things: fruit data.csv and fruit data 2.csv. Okay, so it shows us the both files. And another thing that I'm going to show you is system. Let me show you system. Yeah, this one. Here you go. So I'm going to show you this thing as well. So whatever Windows command you're using, let me show you some of the Windows commands. So Windows are, let me open another terminal. So in Windows, if you say Excel, your Excel opens up, right? I am not familiar with Windows in a very depth manner, but this works the same for Linux as well. So Excel opened, right? In the similar way, we can open PowerPoint and maybe Word. I have never tried it out, but let's try it out. PowerPoint. I don't know if this will work or not. Okay, so there's no command as PowerPoint. And let me search if there is something called Word. Okay, so I don't know if this works or not. Okay, another thing that works, like Notepad. As you can see, Notepad has opened. I can say WordPad. Okay, WordPad is not present. I can say ls. Okay, there's no ls. Dir. Boom. It shows us all the things that is present inside which directory. It is present inside this thing. Under C, under users, under user. The things contained are these. Okay. Now I can cd into desktop. I can use dir. So desktop contains all these different things. I can again cd into demo. Let me take this little, okay. And here I can say dir. So whatever you are seeing here, whatever the commands we are typing, let it be cd, let it be dir, let it be excel, let it be notepad, whatever you are seeing, whatever the commands you are using here is going to work in Python as well using the system function of OS module. Let me show you this one. This is interesting. Okay, so os.system. Now you have to pass the command in a string. You have to pass the command in a string. So if you say Excel, just see what happens. As you can see, the Excel opened. So it works just like we would type commands in Windows, right? So it's the same thing. We are just using the commands of the operating system. If this was Linux, this wouldn't work. So whatever your OS is, based upon that, it will work. So whatever the commands you're using over the terminal, that is cd, ls, whatever you are using, will work here also. And remember, since we have started this thing, so this has started a process. What is the process once again? A process is a program in execution. I repeat, a process is a program in execution. Execution means it's running. The program is running. That's when it is called a process. So Excel is a program and it is running right now. So therefore it is a process. And until and unless I close the Excel window, we cannot write code here. So no matter how many times you press enter, this won't work. So one way of doing this is Control C, and Control C won't work right now. Even Control C won't work. So what you have to do, to go here and you have to close it. As you can see, now you can work. Okay, so now you can work with it. So since you had hit a Control C, now it will show. So until and unless you close the process, you cannot code. Okay, so this is running. Again, I can do the same thing as Notepad. Os dot system, put the command in here, whatever you would have written normally in a terminal, in a in your terminal or in your command line, whatever you have written, you can write it here. You can say Notepad. Notepad opens, right? Notepad opens. You can say something like dir os dot system. You can say something like this, dir. Let's see what this gives us. See, it shows us the thing, right? In Windows you would have got the same result. Let me prove this to you. Open a terminal, go to desktop, go to demo, go to practice CSV, press dir. Compare it side by side. Compare it side by side. So both of them are same, right? Both of them are same. So whatever you are writing in the CMD or in the command prompt in the terminal of your operating system, you can run the same command using Python. How? Using the system function, of OS module. So this is the module, this is the function, and you have to pass the command as a string, and this will work, right? With this, we are ready. And another thing I wanted to show you is that I wanted to show you this thing, something like this. Is it possible? Let me show you. Windows is really messy. Okay, so get CWD. I want to show you this also, right? So let's say I want to get the location. I want to get my current location. Where am I? I am at this point, right? I am inside the in the practice CSV folder, which is under demo folder, which is under desktop folder. Desktop folder is under user folder. The user folder is inside users folder, and the users folder is inside the C drive, right? That's the location, right? So we are standing here. We are standing in CSV, in the practice CSV folder, right? Let me show you this thing. Okay, let me open this. Let me just open this. Windows R. Let me show. Okay, there is already a terminal running right over here. Okay, so now let me just go back. CD. See. Let me just maximize this one. See. Okay, this is not working. I don't know why. Anyways, let's go back, go back, go back, go back, and this is how you go back. Change directory and then put two dots. Double dot means the folder before this folder. So okay, I went back a little bit more. Okay, so again, you're going to the previous folder. So now this is after this. If you do something like this, it won't do anything because you are already at the top of the folder. So as you can see, before practice CSV directory or folder, there was demo folder. Before demo, there was desktop. Before desktop, there was user. Before user, there was users, and after and before users, there was this C directory. Now, if you do something like tree, see this gives you this much information. So you don't really need it, right? Let me just cls to user slash uns- users. Okay, inside this, yep. Now if I hit the tree command, okay, there is a lot of thing. I don't want all of these. Let's go to one folder more. So let's say I go to desktop. Now I hit the tree command. Now let's see what we get. Again, a lot of things. I don't need that. Actually, let's go to demo. Now hit tree. So you can see that we have this thing. Um we have this tree, right? Inside demo, we have tree. We have practice CSV, right? So this is a tree command. You can run it here also, right? Now, what's my current location once again? This is my current location, practice CSV. Okay. Now, how to get the current location? I can say os dot get cwd. What is cwd? It means current working directory. Current working directory. That means the location I am currently standing. So it shows us the location. It shows us the location. So this is our location. Did you get it? This is our location, current location. So this is the same as this one, right? Again, we can say os dot chdr. What is chdr? Ch stands for change, dir stands for directory, which means folder, right? So there is no folder right here, but if I do something like this, double dot means go back, go back. So I went one step back. Now if I run the same command, it gives us up to this point, up to demo. It does not gives us practice CSV. Why? Because we have we have went back to the previous directory, to the previous folder. So double dot means we are moving from this folder to this folder, right? So this is our current location, right? Again, os dot chdr, change the directory to our practice CSV, practice CSV. Okay, now we are back into our directory. So this is how the OS module works. Pretty much that's it. Okay. So since you know how the OS module works, let me show you this thing, this magic. So if I say that what are the things present inside this folder, so how can we say that? We can say os dot listdir. It gives us this nice list of all the files that are present inside this folder. Now you can open the file one by one. I can say for file, or give whatever the name you want, for file in os.listdir, because this will give me a list, and every list comes with a lot of elements, and we can then loop through the elements, right? So for every file inside this list, I want to open this using notepad. So I want to say os.system not this one. Yeah, okay. I'm gonna open this with Notepad. So basically this command would have opened it in the CMD itself, in the command line itself, but I am opening this using Python. So when I'm saying Notepad and then this, again this is going to be a F string file. Now let's see what happens. So this has opened, the another file didn't open. Why? Because I need to close it. It's running. When it's running, the another file will not be able to run. Now another file runs. See, so there are two files, right? I could have done this using the simple command line using Windows. I would have written the same thing. Okay, just in place of this thing, we will just put this thing or this thing and it will open. It's the same as Windows. This is the Windows command. Remember, this is not related to Python. This is related to your operating system. Whatever you are writing in the command prompt or terminal, you are just writing it here and your Python is running those processes. Okay, so that's how it works. Nice. So now we know how to work with the files, right? Now the next thing I'm going to show you is to how to convert a file into Excel file. Okay, so you know how to use the OS module. Now what you're going to learn is how to use Pandas module to convert a CSV file into Excel file. Let's understand. But let's just clear this and just hold on. So how do you clear things in Windows? So we would have said simply CLS. CLS means clear screen. So for example, if I open a window in Windows and say dir, okay, all this stuff, all this different stuff, I'm gonna clean this. How to clean this? I want to start fresh. How to do this? I could have said CLS and it goes away. But how to do the same thing in Python? Again, use the os.system module. os.system, say the same thing what you had you would have said in Windows command prompt. You would have said CLS and bye bye. So it's gone. Now what I'm going to do is going to import something called Pandas. The name is really cute. Anyways, import Pandas. So you imported Pandas. Okay, the next thing you're going to do is you're going to use a function inside inside this module called Csv Read. So you have to store that thing into somewhere, into a variable. You could have said Csv file. Here you will store your Csv file. Okay, you would have said Csv, I'm sorry, pandas dot read Csv. Okay, and you're gonna pass the name of your file. You're gonna pass the name of your file. So let's say I'm gonna pass fruit data dot csv. Okay, so that's the first thing. Now what does this line means? This line means that I am reading the CSV file. I'm reading this CSV file. Okay, I'm extracting all the information from the CSV file and I'm putting it somewhere else. I'm putting it into this variable called CSV file. So I just, this is the same as like this thing, right? Inside, if you open a file using Python, you would have said file equals to open, and then you would have provided the name of the file.csv or something like that. Then you would have mentioned the mode. So basically it's the same thing. This means read, so I am saying read, and since we are reading a CSV file, we are mentioning this one, read CSV. So I am telling Python interpreter to read from CSV file. And just like I would have put the data into some variable, like in this case I'm putting this thing into a variable called file. In case of a CSV file, I am first reading the CSV file, I am extracting the data from the CSV file, I am putting it into this variable, right? I hope this is clear. After this, we have to create a file. What file? Excel file, because we are going to create, we are going to convert CSV to Excel. How can we do that? First, we have to create a Excel file here. Let's do this. So let me open this thing over here. So we are inside this. Look at this very carefully. Okay. So currently we have two files here. Both of them are CSV files, right? Now let's create an Excel file. How to create an Excel file? Simply say, yes, simply put a variable. Again, you have to store the location of this Excel file into somewhere. Where? Into a variable. You will say, could have said Excel file equals to pandas dot Excel writer. Why Excel writer? Because you're going to write to Excel files. So use this function. Again, pass the name of the file. What's the name of the file? Let's fruit data dot xlsx. Why xlsx? This is the extension of Excel files. Okay, this is the extension of Excel files. Let me show you this thing. So when you go back to demo, you can see every Excel file ends with xlsx, right? So we are doing the same thing over here. Now if I hit enter, now it takes a little bit of time. But why does it take time? I will show you. Just hold on. Just let it finish execution. Okay, so it's done. Now let me show you what happened. See, now you can see that there is a new file called fruitdata.xlss. So that means this line of code is creating a new Excel file with this given name, fruitdata.xlsx, right? We can see it here. Previously it only had two CSV files. Now it has this file, okay, over here. So it is creating an Excel file and we are opening this in write mode. Basically this is what it's mean. Okay, so we are creating a fruitdata.xlss file, which is an Excel file, and we are going to write to it. This is the reason we are using this method, Excel writer. Okay, Excel writer, that means we are going to write to the Excel file. Again, same thing, just like you would have opened a file and stored it into some variable, you're doing the same thing in this variable, Excel file. It contains the Excel file. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to say CSV file, basically this file, convert this. How to convert this? To Excel. Now Excel file. So what's happening here? I am saying take the CSV file, this file contains all the data from this CSV file, right? All the data has been extracted into the CSV file. This, whatever this file contains has been extracted and put into this variable over here, right? Similarly, in this file, okay, in this variable contains a new file called fruitdata.xlss, and you are going to write to the file, right? Now we are saying CSV file dot, that means this file, this data dot to Excel, and we are passing the new file. So our source, that is our old file from where we will take the data, to our destination file where we will write the data. So we are saying that we are taking the data from the CSV file and putting it to the Excel file. Okay, that's what I am saying. That's what you are saying. You are taking the data from CSV file, that means this one, and putting it into Excel file, that is this one over here. Okay, and this is the method you're going to use. Boom. Now let's see what happened. Um, Open it. Okay, so now let's open this one, XLSX file. Let's open this. Let's see what it gives us. Okay, so we have done a little bit of mistake here. Just hold on. Repeat the same step once again, and this time do this thing: index equals to false. Now let's see if this works or not. Again, there is something wrong with this file. Oh, so I actually forgot to show you something. So you have to save the file, because after writing to the file, if you do not save the file, the contents will not be actually saved or written to the hard disk, because this is file handling. Remember, this is file handling. You have to save the file. You have to release the file. Okay. So in order to do that, all you have to say is Excel file dot save. Excel file dot save. You have to save this. That's all you need. Boom. Now open the file. You won't get any error. So our file is this one actually. This is another one. I thought like there's something wrong with this file. So let's open this one. Um, Now open this, and this will open properly. It won't do any error. So here you go. You have the name, you have the marks, you have all the data. Congratulations, you have actually created a Excel file using Python. Congratulations. So you have the name, you have the student marks. There you have it, guys. And what happens? And you may ask, like, why do you have put this thing over here? So let's not put this thing. Let's not put this thing. Now I say Excel file dot save. Now let's see what happens. Now if I open this, again open this once again. So this is the thing with index. So what this does is that it puts index. So this guy is 0, and again it's the same thing as lists. It starts counting from 0. So this row is the 0 row, this row is the first row, this row is the second row. So it counts from 0, and it puts something like this. So you don't really need this, right? Because Excel already provides the row numbers: row 1, row 2, row 3, row 4. So you don't want this, right? So basically this is the reason. Okay, I'm recording. So basically this is the reason you want to keep it false. You want to turn it off. So in order to turn it off, you must say index equals to false, because we are putting an index over there, right? So I have to put index equals to false. So when I do the same thing, index equals to false, then I save this. Now the problem goes away. Close this one, don't save, and again open this one. Now let's see what happened. Okay, so the file has been corrupted actually. I don't know what's the problem. So this is the reason, because index causes a lot of problems sometimes. So don't do this, guys. Okay. So always whenever you are saving data to the file, remember to put this thing. Okay. Just let me change this thing. Excel file. Okay. Now we have to. Okay. So now I go here. I'd open this. So it's opening. Just hold on. And kaboom. So here we have this. We have turned the index system off, and remember to do that always. Otherwise, it will cause havoc. It will create errors. Remember that, okay? So that was it, guys. Now you know how to convert a CSV file into Excel file. You now understand how we are actually doing it. First, we are reading the CSV file, putting it in a variable just like we would have done in case of a normal file. Again, we are creating a file and putting it into another variable just like we would have done it when writing to the file. And then we are putting the data to the Excel file. So we are putting the CSV data to the Excel file, and then we are saving the file, and then we are done. So that was it, guys. Now our final project comes here. What we will do is that we will have all these text files. Let me show you this thing. Yep, yep. So we will have all these different text files, all of them, and what we're gonna do is we're gonna take the data from them, just like I showed you. So this is your homework, this is your assignment. You will take the data from them. You will take the data from them in the form of dictionary. Okay, I am giving you a hint. I am giving you the hint. Make it valuable data. Make it meaningful data. So you will take out the data. So the first line is the name, second line is the phone, the third line is the country. So you will take the names. You will make a CSV out of it. So all of them contains the same things: name, phone number, country, name, phone number, country. Okay. So you take all of them, all of the text files, and take out all the data. Make a CSV out of it. The CSV should look like something like this. Um, Let me show you. Open with Notepad. Yep. So the CSV something looks like this. So it contains all the column names. It contains all the data in form of row, right? In form, and okay, remember to remove the lines. Okay, otherwise this will cause another error. Okay, so make sure your CSV looks like this. Once you do this, make the CSV into an Excel file. I have just shown you how to do that. So again, open this one, data.xls. It's opening. Just hold on. So this is the thing you're gonna make. So it will have all the column names, all the headings. See, these are in bold. So the bold has been activated. These are in bold because these are the column names. This is the first row. And then after that, all the data has been in a tabular format, right? All the things are in a table like structure. So that's your assignment, guys. And you have to create your own text files. Just make up some of the text files, make 5 or 4 text files, as much as you want. The first line should be the name, the second line should be the phone number, the third line should be the country the person belongs from, and then take out the data, make a CSV file. Okay, the CSV file should contain all the headers, all the rows, all the datas, meaningful data once again. And after that, convert the CSV file into Excel file. Actually, not convert, make a Excel file from the CSV file. This is your homework, guys, and this is your assignment. And I will definitely put another video solving this problem. Okay, that will be a single script. This script, I will write this script in front of you so that you can understand what I am actually doing step by step. Okay, so that was it, guys. If you can solve it, that's great. If you can't, that's perfectly fine. Phew, so you finally did it. I have successfully understood how to take data from text files in a basic form, how to make meaningful data from text files. Okay, yeah, I've also shown you those fruit and taste example, right? I have taken meaningful data. I have also shown you the students example. I have taken the data, converted into a dictionary, right? And I have also shown you how to convert a dictionary into CSV file. And I have also shown you how to convert CSV files to Excel files. Now you have all the things you need to build the script I have shown you for your assignment. Alright, so you know how to use OS module. These are the things you're going to need. These are the things you're going to need. OS module, Pandas, CSV module, and that's it. Nothing more than that, right? So use your own imagination how you would have done this. So let me give you a hint. Let me give you a hint. Uh, I'm just telling you a story. You have to implement this in program. Every program has a story, and the story is the solution, guys. So I'm telling you the story. What's happening here is you have to go to the folder. Inside the folder, you have to get the list of all the files using os dot, I won't say it, you will see it. Okay, so you will get the list of all the files that are present inside that folder. For every file, you have to open the file, read the text, convert it into dictionary. You are taking the text file, you're processing it, taking out the data, turning this data into meaningful data, meaning dictionary data, list of dictionaries, right? You're doing that. After making the list of dictionaries, you are putting the data into a CSV file. So now you have the CSV file, right? Now just take the data once again and convert it into Excel file. That's all you need to do. So again, there are 5 text files. Open each one of them, read the data, convert it into meaningful data, right? Meaningful data. Put the meaningful data into the CSV file. You have your CSV file. Now convert the CSV file into Excel file. That's your assignment, guys. These are the things that you actually need as a software developer in your company. When you join a company, these are the scripts that you need to write. These are very realistic scripts, right? So complete it. And again, I am there for your help. If you cannot complete, that's perfectly fine, but at least give it a try, guys, because if you don't try, you won't learn. Okay, once you face problems by yourself, then only you can learn these things. So again, let me remind you once again. In order to use Pandas, you need two things. Okay, you need two things. The first thing is Pandas itself. So pip install Pandas. That's the first thing you need to install. And the second thing is pip install OpenPyXL. It's OpenPyXL. Remember that. So you have to install two things, and I have shown you how to install things using pip. If you don't know, that's perfectly fine. I'm going to show you in the next video how to do that. I hope you think you should remember that, right? How to install packages, modules using pip, right? So pip space install space pandas, Pandas. Next line, pip install OpenPyXL. So that's all you need, and see you in the next video, guys. Tell me if you like the video, and okay, good night. Namaste.